February 2020, somewhere above the Spratly Islands in South China Sea. A US Navy P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft was conducting surveillance on Chinese artificial islands and military installations in the South China Sea.
American military airplane. American military airplane. You are approaching by military security island. Please go away quickly in order to avoid judgment.
Station calling U.S. military aircraft. Please identify yourself.
This is Chinese Navy. You are approaching my military security island. Please go away quickly in order to avoid judgment.
I'm a United States military aircraft conducting lawful military activities outside national airspace. I am operating with due regard as required under international law.
The Chinese Navy destroyer has had enough. It aimed its energy weapon and fired upon a US aircraft, the laser beam temporarily blinding the pilots. Thankfully, no lives were lost that day. Incidents like this are not rare occurrences and could easily spark the next World War. The South China Sea is a region of tremendous economic and geostrategic importance. It holds one-third of the world's maritime trade, worth over $3 trillion per year. It is also rich in oil and natural gas and contains lucrative fisheries. But China wants it all. Using the 9-dash line, it says that South China Sea has been a part of China since ancient times, whereas other countries just want to protect their exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone refers to an area that extends 200 nautical miles from the coast of a sovereign state, and resources within the area belongs to that state. Since 2013, China has been building artificial islands and turning them into military bases in South China Sea. In July 2016, an arbitrary tribunal under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea ruled against China's maritime claims. However, China rejected the ruling and continued building its military presence. China also employed grey zone tactics via the maritime militia, also known as Little Blue Men. These armed Chinese fishing vessels constantly harass and challenge vessels from other countries. Although they are provocative, they fall below the threshold of a conventional war. The United States is joined by other countries, namely United Kingdom, France, Japan, and Australia, to conduct freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea to delegitimize China's excessive maritime claims. Innocent Passage states that when a foreign vessel passes through the territorial waters of another state, it must do so in an expeditious and continuous manner. In these freedom of navigation operations, the US warship would sail in a zigzag pattern, not in accordance to Innocent Passage. In May 2021, 16 Chinese military aircraft entered the airspace above Malaysia's exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea. The Royal Malaysian Air Force scrambled their Hawk fighters from Labuan to track these Chinese aircraft. The Indonesian Navy plans to expand its submarine fleet to deal with China's aggression, while the Philippines continue filing diplomatic protests against China. The United States is in a difficult position. On one hand, they don't want to go to war with China. On the other, they also want China to stop bullying other countries in South China Sea. So, do you think the Chinese military will be able to fully control the South China Sea? Or do you think the US and ASEAN can work together to stop China's aggression? As tensions continue to rise in South China Sea,